Hey guys, how's everything going? This is JSer. In this video, I'm going to take a look at what kind of abilities of a proxy can have. In case you have never used a proxy before, it's a very powerful tool. It's like a wrapper around a specific target, and when you want intercept some actions, you can use this proxy with a specific handler to do whatever you want. So let's just jump straight into this basic example is that selectively proxy property accesses. So we have this target, and proxy means that okay, we just if you want this property, just fetch it from the target. If not proxied, no, proxied means you just intercept the property. Not proxied means get the data from this original target. So we create a handler, and then we create proxy, and we access the not proxied. When this dot notation behaves, it means actually internally the getter, right? If you have used this getter setter, you will know that it's actually the getter is triggered. So we can intercept this action, say define this handler with this get, meaning when the target is being required to return the property, and I check if it is proxied, and then I just return this proxy value called replace value. If not, I just use the reflect get. Reflect is just some handy YouTube functions. We will come back to it like in another video, but it's basically the same as you can use this dot notation inside it. Just a dot target. We use this bracket, target brackets, prop. Yeah, it's the same. So you can see that this handler actually intercept the action, right? Just like a man in the middle. If I can do whatever I want, but it basically the proxy works the same as the original target. Everything you trigger on this proxy will be delegated to the target. So you can, if you don't want thing anymore, you can just leave it. Still everything works. You just add the abilities you want extra as an extra. Okay, so what kind of abilities are there? We've already covered this kind of like getter. This getter. There's a list of it. Let's look through all of them. First one is apply, a trap for function call. As the name says, it's actually say the target is a function. When this function is run, you want to intercept that. So you define this handler. Wow, this is super powerful. I don't know what we can do with it, but it's super powerful. Okay, we created this proxy. The target isn't actually a function. So when the function is called, you remember the function prototype apply, right? Function prototype apply, function prototype a call. Basically internally the same. So the handler had this apply. When it is run, you get a log and then return the target. Target is function, so you can use this parenthesis to trigger the function. And this is argument. And then, yeah, you times them by 10. So you say, hey, the default it would be, okay, I'm sorry. So how? I said hey and trigger the series. I'm sorry. You should say sum 1 and 2 equals 3, right? The original should be 3. And now you proxy them, you get the original result and times 10. So yeah, you can intercept the return value of a function. Super cool. Next one is construct. I think it's for the construct function, right? Monster, yeah, construct. So when you knew something, you can just say, hey, I just return something new. This one is just the default using the target as a constructor function, but obviously you can return something else. Okay, next one is define property, a trap for object define property. Yeah, when you run this object define property, you can use the define property trap to intercept it. Okay, so this is environment, key action something, monster, proxy, and proxy, the secret easily, easily scared. Oh yeah, this is a property assignment, all right? You create a new property, use dot notation, and then actually internally, they will actually call something like the object define property, and then you can intercept that. Okay, and then invariant key define true, and then you can add some a validation about property. Wow, super cool. Wow, nice. define property. Cool. Next one is delete property. It should be similar. So if you run the delete, where is delete? Texture, it means scatty, yeah. And then your proxy, delete it, yeah, here. If you delete it, it will be run through this handler. Say, hey, if the property is in the target, I delete it, and I log the property removed. Yeah, that's the default behavior, right? If you say, hey, I don't want it to get it deleted for specific property, you can just add the if clause here. If prop equals something sensitive, I won't delete it. Yeah, do whatever you want. Okay, next one, a get. This is similar for the set. Now we get the get. So this is the dot notation. Dot notation, yeah, get set. Great. Wait a minute. What's the difference between the defined property and the set? I think I have set. Okay. Anyway, we'll come back to that later. First one for the get is the dot notation for access. If a property is secret, okay, I'll return something else. If not, I'll just use this handy method reflect.get to get the original data. So this is nothing special. Get on properties descriptor. I think it's trap for object to get on property descriptor. It's the full definition of a property. It's not that complicated. Okay, next one is get a prototype of. It's a trap for object to get prototype of. Wow, this is super nice. You can now just return some arbitrarily prototype now. Well, I think this is useful for some super complicated class inheritance, right? If you create some subclasses and you want to get some prototype, some messy prototype chain, and you want just to get things straight, do some hacky stuff. It's super useful for that. Get property off. You can just inject it and return something else. Great. Has is a trap for the in operator. Well, the in actually is not that much used in our days, I guess, but it's handy if you want to check some properties. If it's in the target, you can use in, and the has is the handler for it. Okay, so here you can see that if the key is with starts with underscore, it says no. Underscore means secret, right? Yeah. Great. And then is extensible. It's a trap for object extensible. Actually, I have never used this before, so it's something like it may be useful for some library, the core libraries. You don't want your object to be ordered, right? This is prevent extension, extensible, and you can alter the behavior. Yeah, and then prevent extensions is the same. I will already. Yeah, it's like freeze, right? I don't know. Is this freeze? Prevent extensions prevents new properties to be added. Okay. On keys. On keys is a trap for get on property names and get on property symbols. So, okay, wait a minute. So it doesn't have a same name, like similar names. It has different name. Maybe because we have it covers two stuffs. So obviously it's not names, it's not symbols. So we got on keys. On keys. Yeah, this is just the default behavior. It delegates the on keys to the original target. You can return something else. Prevent extension, we've already talked about it. And set. Set is trap for setting a property value. I knew what something what's there. So if you define some new property, is the define property will be triggered. Yeah, here we're just creating something new, right? But if their property is already there, it's gonna be a set. Wow. Intuitive. Okay. So the set to the target with a property with some value. And you can just add some validations here, and on the other hand, if If not, you can just use a reflect handy util functions to set the data. Click proxy. Target, yeah, eye contact. This is the setter because the property is already there. Log it, and then I can't set it. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Set is done. Let's see the set property prototype of set. Okay, this is the related to the get prototype off. We now can set the prototype off. Yeah. Usually we don't use it, but maybe for some core libraries. Okay, cool. That's all for this video. Hope it helps. Well, proxies is really super powerful, but maybe not in our daily application development. If you are creating some libraries, it could be a very interesting technique. Anyway, hope it helps. See you next time. Bye bye.